Welcome to part 1 of our Celebrity Beyond cruise ship review. In this episode, we concentrate on the bars and entertainment we enjoyed during our cruise.
So first up is the Martini Bar. The bar staff there are obviously the creme de la creme when it comes to banter and to skills, because they, twice a night, 8:30 and 10:30, they do juggling acts and cocktail tricks.
That's juggling acts, not juggling acts.
Juggling an axe, no, juggling acts. ACT.
They're juggling balls and glasses.
Yeah, I think people get that, Paul.
I thought you said axe.
No. So the Martini Bar is the first place that we sort of just migrated to. You're able to sit at the bar again, which is so nice, isn't it? And what this bar had was just a real sociable feel. I know you can say we got that with lots of other bars, but everyone sat around the bar and there's lots of different areas. So if you want to be right near the action, you can be. If you want to sit back 2 tiers up to watch what unfolds in the evening there, then it's a really sociable place to be. It's right next to a dance floor where they have live music.
They have live music every night, and it could be anything from solo pianist, solo guitarist, to a 5 or 6 piece band.
Or a silent disco.
Or a silent disco.
Yeah.
So something every single night.
Yeah, so it's a really great place. If you love people watching, and I'll put a little video in here of a bit of a time lapse that I did. You'll just see it's just a fantastic place to sit. And like I say, you can sit up above or down below. But we had some fantastic nights there, didn't we? There was 4 barmen that we were just so impressed with, weren't there?
Oh, they were brilliant.
Yeah. It was just, I'll put some pictures in here. We've got Kadek, we've got Ari, we've got Vegas, we've got Rendy, and they entertained us for the whole 9 nights, didn't they? Not that we went there every night, but we did probably go there 6 out of 9 nights at some point, didn't we? I bet we did. But anyway, so if you are on the Celebrity Beyond, make sure you go to the Martini Bar and don't be frightened to sit at the bar. And the reason I say that is we met some fantastic people on this cruise from all over the world, and it's one of those bars where you sit on a stool and you just turn to the person next to you, and everyone just seemed to chat to each other. It seemed to have this, I don't know, it's sort of this magical where everyone was just happy and chatty.
But when you turned to talk to somebody, it was always me.
No, not always. I tried to turn the other way. So there you are, the Martini Bar. So make sure you get there if you're thinking about going on Celebrity Bar and you're thinking, oh, I like a bar where you can actually sit and chat with people rather than a sports bar or sunset bar. Then that's the place to be.
All right, you know the moment of the truth. You have your phones ready? Yes. I can hear you. You have your phones ready? Yes. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to trigger the glasses with a big countdown from 5 to 0, and then they're going to trigger the shots. Here we go, so here we go, let's do it together. On 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Yeah! Alright, here we go, everybody. Look at that. That's really, really cool, everyone. Come on, make some noise as they come closer. Here we go.
Next up is the Craft Social Bar. If you're into your sport, whatever sport it may be, there's a very, very good chance it's going to be showed in the Craft Social Bar.
Yeah.
When we were on, it was Wimbledon fortnight, so there was a lot of Wimbledon. There's 3 screens over the bar.
And a big screen.
And a big screen. And they were playing anything from tennis, golf, baseball, basketball. Yeah. I'm sure if it had been in the normal English football season, they probably would have been showing that too. Yeah. But it's sort of quite a
small. It's not a huge bar.
Small little snug bar.
Yeah.
Lovely girl behind the counter called Alex.
Yeah.
Who really, really knew her stuff. Knew her beer, knew her ciders, knew all her drinks.
Yeah.
Now, I know that might sound like a daft thing. We went to plenty of bars where they don't know anything. She really
not on this ship.
Not on this ship, no. But she really knew her stuff.
Yeah.
And They had some different ciders there because if anybody knows me, they know I do like cider, but my favourite is Thatcher's Gold. No Thatcher's Gold, only Strongbow, and I really don't like Strongbow. But they did have some American cider, which I'd never tried and never heard of, but I have to say, it wasn't bad at all.
What was it called?
It was called Angry Orchard.
That's it.
Oh, where did I get that from? I just plucked it out the sky.
Yeah.
Angry Orchard, and it wasn't bad at all, to be fair.
Yeah.
So if you're after a different beer or a different cider, that is definitely the place to pop into, and Alex or whoever might be working there at the time will happily go through their list of speciality stuff they got, and it's definitely worth
it is.
popping in for a visit.
The other thing about the Craft Social Bar is it overlooks the Grand Plaza, and we've just been talking about the Martini Bar. And the other person we didn't mention when we were there was Grace. There was a waitress called Grace that sort of is in the whole area of the Grand Plaza, and she was fantastic too. Actually, to be honest, the whole service we had on the ship was superb, wasn't it?
She was the only person we encountered on the whole of the ship, staff-wise,
who was British.
And she's from Wolverhampton.
Yeah, apart from the entertainment team.
Yeah,
but yeah, she was great fun, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was, yeah.
So the next bar that we're going to talk about is this world-class bar. Now, this is a very chic little area, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's on the opposite side of the Social Craft Bar, on the same level, where you overlook into the Grand Plaza. Now, we didn't use this bar very much at all because even though it was lovely and comfortable, we're just nosy people, I think, aren't we? So we like to have a bar either where we're in the thick of it, or we like to be able to people watch. And it was quite enclosed in there, wasn't it? Do you
like
think?
how you keep looking at me saying we're quite nosy. It means you're quite nosy.
I just love people
Yes.
watching. But it was a lovely little bar there.
Nice little area, but I have to say it was never busy. We walked past the one day and they were doing cocktail lessons.
Yes.
So I'd imagine that's something you can book.
Yeah.
It wasn't a place that we frequented very much at all, and to be fair, it didn't look like anybody else did either, did it?
Well, it was just very quiet. I think if you wanted to sit there and
yeah.
read, actually, and you want to be a bit out of the way, it was quite nice, but we didn't do that, did we? But what we did do is opposite there is not a bar as such, well, it's a coffee bar. So opposite is the Cafe Al Bacio, and oh my...
Yes.
We're not huge coffee drinkers. We enjoy a cup of coffee, but we don't go out to look for sort of the premier coffees. But we loved it in there, didn't we? It was, well, because of the cake.
All sorts of specialty coffee, but the main thing is they had a great big glass chest, cabinet, wardrobe.
Not wardrobe.
Full of delicious cakes and cookies. And I have to say, the chocolate brownie, probably the finest chocolate brownie I've ever had. Lots of lovely cakes, red velvet and chocolate and this and that and the other, and just you name it, they had it. If they didn't have it, you didn't want it. And it was absolutely amazing, and that was open. They do sort of breakfasty stuff, croissant-y, that sort of things early in the morning.
Because we went there, sometimes we didn't, we don't, if you watch our vlogs, we don't often get up for breakfast, but it was just nice there. We would think, do you know what, we just need a little something, so we would go there for a cappuccino and a muffin, wouldn't we? Blueberry muffins.
Yeah. And that would, so it opened at something like 6 in the morning, and it closed at midnight.
Yeah.
So there was a couple of times where I had to sprint there about 5 to midnight to get some milk for our room, and obviously the lady insisted that I took some cakes and cookies. I didn't want to, but she made me.
Yeah, but it was actually nice to have a coffee area that was still thick in the action, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think it's nice to we enjoy drinking alcohol and having a good time on a cruise ship, but sometimes it's nice there to sit, have a coffee, and it was a great place to watch the world go by, wasn't it?
Most definitely.
Really, really like that, and the service there was brilliant.
Going back to nosy Carole, great place to spy on people.
Yes. Let's tell you or talk to you about Eden. Now, Eden is right at the aft of the ship, and it spans over 3 decks, and it is probably one of the most, what's the word for it? Exotic? Different? Unique?
If you enter Eden from the gallery end, you have to walk past what I can only describe it's like a corridor and it's like walking through outer space, just the start of things to come. And then you walk in there, and Carole said to me, "Oh my God, it smells like a garden in here." And I gotta be honest, the first couple of times, whether it's just my big fat man nose, but I couldn't really smell anything. But then the third time I went in,
it didn't smell like a garden. It just smelled different. It smelled just fresh. It smelled. You just noticed that as soon as you walk in there, it was like walking through. You felt like you were going to this magical place, didn't you? That's how I felt.
I don't know what that smells like, but that's what it smelled like. And then they've got some lovely artwork, and then they've got little swing chairs you can sit on. They got some horrible. You sit on it, and I gotta be honest, I've been more comfortable when I got kicked by a donkey. There's like a walkway that goes sort of horizontally behind it. There's got tables and chairs as well. And then above your head, you can go by the side of the bar and
it's
almost
like a spiral,
isn't it? And then there's another area up there. So there's loads and loads of places to sit.
It is an incredible space, and what they've done with it is, I think, remarkable, because it's big, it's huge, it's the whole aft of the ship, as you can see here. But you still felt that when you were sat in all these little areas, you had your own private space.
Yeah.
And I love that.
That's a perfect. Yeah. It's almost like the TARDIS in Doctor Who is little on the outside, big on the inside. Well, this is almost like the opposite way around, where it's big, but when you're sat in there, it feels like it's small.
It feels private.
It feels like small and private, intimate, and cosy and intimate.
Yeah.
But it's not. So it's
but the other thing it does that,
but when you go in there,
you'll see. And it's also got an outside area, which is a smoking area, one part. But there's another part, and they've got some really funky sun lounges and stuff. So if you want, and nobody really goes there, do they? No. Apart from people that want to have a cigarette. And that was really lovely. And then you got our views, and whoever thought up the concept of Ian, and fair play to you, because it really, really works. Right, on to another bar that actually we just migrated there. If we weren't in the Martini Bar, we tended to go to this bar because it is just such another special area, and that is right at the aft of the ship, and it's called the Sunset Bar.
What happens there?
The sunsets.
Now, obviously, anybody who's a big Oprah fan like me will know the name Nate Berkus. And he's a designer, and he actually designed the Moroccan-inspired theme that is used for the Sunset Bar.
I just told that, Paul. I told you that like a few minutes ago. But anyway, it's true. I love Oprah.
I don't know any of them. I know
you Oprah.
I Oprah.
You know.
I Oprah.
Anyway, Oprah, if you're watching, hi. I'm sure you're not.
I've heard that she is a subscriber to Paul and Carole Loves to Travel.
Ah, dear. Anyway, back to the Sunset Bar. It's a perfect sunset bar. You walk actually from the rooftop garden, which we're going to when we talk about outdoor spaces. But it's actually, you walk towards it, easy access to toilets, because that's always crucial, isn't it? Yeah. And that's one thing that Celebrity Beyond are good at. They've got lots of toilets, so well done Celebrity for that, because Virgin, take note.
Yeah.
When you walk down into the Sunset Bar, there's some covered areas which you can smoke in as well. But we didn't find it obtrusive. We don't smoke. So there was plenty of spaces where you could sit where you weren't anywhere near the smoke. And it's this beautiful, as you'll see here, design area. As it says, it's a Sunset Bar. And the service there was superb.
There's only a very small bar area. You could probably sit 5 or 6 people at the bar, but loads and loads and loads of staff. So even if you didn't want to go to the bar, you didn't have to wait very long. And it was fantastic, and we went there for lots of sail-aways.
The Sunset Bar, absolutely a perfect spot to watch sail away. They had entertainment there in the form of saxophonist. Yes.
And they had a DJ there.
And a guitar player.
Sometimes together, and they had a guitar player, so they'd always have a little, not big,
party,
but just something just to create an ambience.
Yeah, an ambience they did. I did. Yeah. So this is for sail-aways. It was just brilliant, wasn't it?
Yes.
And down from the Sunset Bar, just down one deck, you get the Ocean View Bar, which is actually the back of the buffet restaurant, which we're going to talk about when we talk about dining. And that is a good area, because that is a really shaded area.
Yes.
When it got really hot on the Sunset Bar, we just sort of scuttled, didn't we, into the shade down there. And that is another perfect place to sit with waiter service and watch the world go by there.
The bar for the
The Ocean View Bar is
It's just inside the doors to the buffet, but literally just inside.
Yeah.
So you don't have to walk through the buffet. But again, waiters and waitresses everywhere. So it was.
This ship has got on the aft.
Yeah.
All the facilities on it is very well thought out.
One of the best places I've sat on a ship to watch a sail away would be that Sunset Bar.
Yeah, it's got a great vibe.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. Also on Celebrity Beyond, you'll find the Mast Bar and the Pool Bar. We'll be telling you more about those when we discuss the pool deck area in episode 2. Right then, next up is entertainment and entertainment venues. Now, another first that we've not experienced before, there's two completely different entertainment teams.
Yeah.
And both quite large teams. There's a theatre team, which does all the theatre shows, and there's also a second team, but they're by no means the second team, and they do entertainment in the club and in Eden.
And in the Grand Plaza.
And in the Grand Plaza.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they did one at the Martini Bar the one night.
Entertainment on the ship is phenomenal.
Yes. It is fantastic.
It is. Right, the first venue I want to talk about is the club. Found on deck 4. This is a take sort of a music hall type venue, isn't it?
Yes. Two stories, got quite a large bar, big dance floor, and this is where they have nighttime entertainment, as in they might have the guest acts in there. They had a show called Jazz Joint, which was the entertainment team we were talking about that operates in the club. They do,
and that was excellent, wasn't it?
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah.
And because it's a different experience to the theatre because you're so close to the action.
Yeah.
So you almost feel like you are sort of part of what's going on because you literally sat on the.
Well, in the Jazz Joint we were because as soon as you walked in, they're in characters and they're. We won't spoil what it's about so much, but they are interactive. If you're sitting near the front, expect interaction.
Yes.
If you don't like interaction, sit upstairs.
Sit upstairs.
Once you've seen the big stars in the theatre, the guest entertainers, we had Andrew Derbyshire, didn't we, and CeCe Tennille, and they gave a performance in the club, and it was up and personal. He was on the dance. Everyone was up on the dance floor dancing with him.
But Andrew Derbyshire did make me get up on the dance floor.
He did. He dragged you up. But they was brilliant. Yeah. Such talented guests too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, fantastic.
So the club also at night turns into the disco, which is at 18's over, and they do have a bouncer on the door.
That's security to anybody who doesn't know what a bouncer is.
Yeah, that's true.
Quizzes.
Yeah.
They have Deal or No Deal.
Yeah.
And you can win up to $1,000.
Yes.
Up to $1,000. Long story short, you buy a ticket in the casino, and that's got a number on it. And then when the show starts, if your number gets called out, you get up to play Deal or No Deal. So it's not free to play, and you have to buy a ticket. But the fact that you haven't got up to play Deal or No Deal, you can still win when you're sat in the audience, as long as you bought a ticket.
Yes, that's true.
And Carole's got some stuff now that she can insert just to give you some idea of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We're going to open up case number 2 and see what you haven't won. And inside case number 2 is going to be $125. Oh, you know what though? Let's open up case number 3, and inside case number 3 you have $125.
Yeah, also in the club they do the quizzes, and when we were on board they had a bug naked quiz because Celebrity Beyond, she's got quite a famous captain, Captain Kate, who travels with her cat, and the cat came to the quiz, which was really quite bizarre. So
it's very random, and even more random, he was brought up on stage in a pram. Yes. Or I don't know what another word for it, in a stroller or a pram, a pushchair, whatever you want. Scary amount of knowledge that lots of people in the quiz knew about. We got 7 out of 20, and I think we probably finished last. Yeah. But there was people who only got like 1 question wrong.
No.
And it was like,
but there was a lot of bug naked fans on board, that was for sure.
And they also do bingo in there as well.
Yes, they do. Yeah. So that's the club. The theatre on board is just called the theatre, and it's like no other theatre that we've seen before. It's got a circular stage, it's got this huge LED screen at the back, which is just brings a total different dimension to the shows.
Yeah, it's like a 180 degree curved screen. All the shows in the theatre are introduced by cruise director Luigi. We think he's probably the coolest cruise director we've ever come across. One of the first people he introduced us to was the most famous captain on the high seas, Captain Kate McCue.
Good evening, everyone. Wow, you are small but mighty. Welcome to Celebrity Beyond and our first production show, as Luigi mentioned. Before we kick this off, and you are in for such a treat, all of the production shows, all of the shows here in the theater and in Eden and in Club, you're in for a real treat. But we did want to take the opportunity to introduce you to what we call the Big Brass. These are the folks that are the head of the executive committee. They are in charge of the 1,200 crew members from 75 different nationalities on board this ship.
Yeah!
And I'm just going to introduce them to you briefly, and I'm going to start off with the gentleman on my right. We call him the Cowboy. That is because he is responsible for 72,000 horses that all live below the water level down in our engine spaces. He is responsible for everything technical on board the ship. He is our chief engineer, Yanni from Greece. The next gentleman is in charge of the largest department. He is also Steven Seagal's stunt double, the younger, better-looking version. He is responsible for the largest department on board. That is, of course, our hotel department. That is everything from food, beverage, housekeeping, the shops, the casino, the spa. About 1,000 of the 1,200 crew members report to this lovely gentleman. He is our hotel director. His name is Mihai, and he is from Canada. And the next lady, I think she actually has the most important job on board the ship, because she is in charge of looking after the welfare of those wonderful 1,200 crew members. She hails all the way from Canada. We call her the momager because she is the HR manager, and her name is Shannon. And last but not least is the model. You laugh, but if you go to J. Crew circa 2006, you are going to see this face. But today, he is my right hand. He is a fully licensed and qualified captain, just waiting for me to walk down these stairs and take a face plant. He, of course, is our staff captain. His name is Vangelis, and he is from Greece.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Kate McCue, and the center company of Celebrity Beyond. Thank you very much, Captain and team. Wow.
Celebrity are really good because they allow you to film and take pictures.
They positively encourage you to film.
And to share on social media. Yeah. But these shows were phenomenal.
Oh, right.
So I'm going to insert some footage here so you can judge for yourself.
Because it's easier to show you than try and explain.
So there you are. So the theatre shows at 8:30 at night and 10:30.
And you can take a drink in.
Yes. So make sure, if you're on Celebrity Beyond, get to the theatre. So the next entertainment venue is Eden. Totally different because, again, it's close and personal like the club.
Totally.
It's really hard to explain. So I'm going to do the same as we did with the theatre and just insert a load of clips here so you can see exactly what we witnessed.
We hope you've enjoyed our review of the bars and entertainment on the Celebrity Beyond. Now join us for part 2, where we discuss dining, the pool area and more outside spaces.